Hi, this is Brandon from Watches on You. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Oris Aquis GMT Date. Now first I want to remind you that we're here at JB Hudson Jewelers in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where this watch is available on sale brand new for a retail price of $2,700. Now JB Hudson is an authorized retailer of Oris and many other premium brands. I'll be dropping a link in the description to their website if you want to inquire about purchasing this piece. An additional reminder that I'd like to make is that I currently have a Kickstarter campaign, which will be linked in the description, for a watch that I personally designed. This is the Hoagland & Sons Mark I chronograph. It is a hybrid mechanical quartz movement, and what that means is that it has a mechanical module on top of a quartz movement. And that allows this watch to have the functionality and feel of a mechanical watch, but the accuracy and affordability of a quartz movement. So what I mean by the functionality and feel of a mechanical watch is the fact that when you start the chronograph, it has a smooth seconds hand, and then when you reset the chronograph, it flies right back to 12 o'clock very quickly, as opposed to kind of ticking around the dial like a typical quartz watch. Now, when I say an affordable price, this watch is available for $149 on Kickstarter, and you have to purchase the reward for that, and then I'll start the production process after the campaign is successfully funded. We're about 50% funded. And some additional features that you get with this piece is that you have a time zone scale, so it does all the time zones in the world, so you can make quick time zone conversions. And then additionally has a metric to imperial unit conversion scale, which would be useful for aviation or, again, just traveling. Furthermore, you have a tachymeter scale on the dial for speed conversions. It's really a vintage racing chronograph. So definitely check that out in the description, but now I'll move on to the Oris Aquis GMT Date. So this watch, it has a diameter of 43.5 millimeters, and it's got a stainless steel case. It is a large watch, but it's very good value for money. It is a 300-meter water resistance. It's got a bezel with a ceramic insert. Now this watch is kind of a diver, kind of not a diver, and the reason I say that is it has a bidirectional bezel, and that is significant because traditionally dive watches only have unidirectional bezels for safety reasons. You don't want the bezel to change positions. It could affect your timing. But this watch does have a bidirectional bezel. Now, it'd be fairly difficult to bump this piece. I'm just kind of using my glove to kind of simulate a bump or something like that. It isn't moving really at all, and that's because it has these smooth teeth on the outside. You're not really going to change this, but move this bezel unless you really mean to. It's fairly hard, but it has excellent lockup. I don't think it should be a problem if you were diving with this piece. Additionally, it does have a lume pip at 12 o'clock on the bezel, so that is a useful thing. Additionally, you have a date function, and I don't really like how the date wheel interferes with the GMT hour marks on the dial. I think that is a little bit obtrusive. I don't really like how it looks, especially because it covers up the 6 on that GMT wheel. But I think that given that this watch has a Solita-based movement, I think that that's probably the only way that they could do this. Or I guess they could have made the GMT wheel a little bit smaller, but who knows why they chose to do that. So getting into the overall kind of case construction, it is a very nicely constructed case. It has a clear case back with kind of the traditional utilitarian Oris finishing. There's no real perlage or anything like that on the piece. It's just, again, kind of a bare bones movement. But again, that's because this watch has a very affordable price of $2,700. So now moving on to the bracelet, it's got kind of the traditional, very high quality Oris pressed metal variety bracelet. It's got a very nice diver's extension on the piece. It's very thick. The bracelet itself is it's not that thick, but it's really well constructed. Oris's cases, for the money you're paying, are just excellent in quality. Although the clasp is of the pressed metal kind of variety and type, I think that it's fairly high quality. It's relatively thick. Additionally, the actual clasp part itself is very thick and very well constructed. So now moving on to a wrist shot of the piece. The 43.5 millimeter case size might look a little bit big on some people's wrists. That is something to take note of. But I think that for most people, it should be okay given that it's such a sporty piece. I mean, this watch is really shiny. It will get attention, I would say. It looks very high end. I really like how the piece looks. If you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, and share. And also, if you have any questions, definitely leave a comment. We will answer them. Also, check out the link in the description to not only JB Hudson's website, but also to my Kickstarter campaign. Again, we're trying to get that funding by October 14th, the morning of October 14th. So check that out. Thanks for watching. you.